Cardinal Sin for $10 says, seems to me that if Disney just remastered the old films for AV and released them every 7 years, they'd have almost no overhead. Be able to cash in on nostalgia and not go over budget, losing millions of dollars. Yeah, I mean, I guess for the animated ones, yeah.
Well, there was a problem that happened, and that was at one point when digital became a thing. See, the reasons why it worked during the age of VHS is VHS tapes wore out, right? Kids trashed them.
Yes.
Discs last forever. Internet lasts forever. We've been passing around files now for the better part of 25 years online.
25 years? Really?
Think about it for a minute.
Napster.
Go back and look when Napster started.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sorry, yeah, you're right.
Almost everything and anything you could
feel old, Tom.
I know, but it's the fucking truth, man.
You make me feel old.
And what happened was, when Disney was
copies.
Yep, and when Disney was doing their new round in the last like 20 years of their Vault releases, what they had done this time was they were re-releasing everything in 3D, and it did okay. And then they didn't convert Aladdin. They just released it flat out, and it didn't do well. See, that's the thing. They started noticing, oh, shit. Well, that's because the DVDs and Blu-rays you already released are still fine and dandy, and kids can still watch them 100,000 times over and over and over again. There's no reason for a parent to drag their kid to the theater for a movie that they still have sitting on the shelf. That's a problem.
Yeah,
and then when and again, then when Disney Plus came along, that was the end of it. That was basically, you put a gravestone on it now, because when they put The Little Mermaid right next to Little Mermaid 2 and 3, it made it useless, right? It no longer was this important thing. And I think that's kind of what hurt Pixar over the years too, is they went against the grain with Disney, and that was why Eisner was pissed with them, was because they're like, no, our movies will always be available no matter what. And Eisner's like, no, I want to put them in the vault. They're like, Toy Story will never be vaulted. And guess what? Toy Story is not as popular as it used to be. Didn't they just send out a report recently, Culture, that Toy Story cars and all these other big franchises they used to have aren't selling like they used to?
Nope.
All those kids are growing up.
Well, not just that, the importance of them has gone away. Can you imagine how important Toy Story would be had we only been able to see it every 7 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it speaks also. It's even bigger.
That's
than
the only mistake Lasseter made. I'll say that's one thing I'll put against him.
And that's true, but again, we also have the problems that exist because they eliminated all the other avenues of income. I mean, Cardinal Sin's 100% accurate here. I mean, because they eliminated all the other markets, the secondary revenue streams, which I think Tom and I've counted like 5, 6, 7 of them, to be fair, that they've
all together,
Yeah, they've destroyed themselves. And so, yeah, this was a great strategy. It worked for decades, and then it didn't anymore because they cannibalized it. They did it to themselves. I mean, let's just be fair. They did it to themselves.
Their run was pretty simple. You'd re-release a movie in theaters, generally remastered. Then it would go to home video. And then the theater tie-in itself would have like a McDonald's Happy Meal. A new toy line would be brought out because of it. There would be clothes tie-ins, coloring book, you name it. All that stuff would go along with every re-release. Then it would hit the video. And then after the video and video on demand, then it would go to, they would once in a great while, only certain ones would get shown on the Disney Channel. They wouldn't show all of them, only certain ones sometimes. And then once in a great while, they'd also get a television network showing, but that was also very rare.
It was like they broke it up with commercials too. So it had multiple types of value, and it didn't.
That's what I mean. Each one of these streams was a different stream of revenue. Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, if you guys remember when movies would come out of the vault back in the day, parents and stuff rushed to the store to grab those. Now that everything's digital, the vault's not really needed. I mean, you can pretty much get anything you want whenever you want. The only thing
vault's just for them, isn't it? Really, it's so they could store it nowadays. It's not really anything.
It's a literal vault now. Yeah.
The only thing I think that they could do where they could. Where this would make sense, what Cardinal Sin's talking about here, is if they released collectors, a limited edition collector's edition of the physical media that comes with like say you do Little Mermaid and it comes with a Little Mermaid statue or like a print, something that also is bundled with it that's literally just sold on a limited number run from the Disney store or something. You know, it's not mass produced.
Well, they're kind of doing something right now, and this is what they did because they finally released their first classic animated film in 4K. Now, Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and Lion King have already gotten 4K releases. Okay, those were technically considered modern Disney films. But earlier this year, Cinderella got released on 4K, only as a Disney Club exclusive. But now this October, it comes out everywhere. But they sold out of it at the Disney Club. So they're kind of trying to recreate that demand. Exactly. So now people were selling it on eBay for like 50, 60 bucks or whatever. Well, of course, most people knew it was coming in October, but yeah.
That is quite smart, actually.
The thing is, you can still get the 4K editions, digital copies of the file.
Absolutely.
The only thing is if you sell like a collector's edition that comes with something else that's tangible, that's a collector's item, sort of like when Lord of the Rings box sets came out and they had the book design and each one came with like a statue of the White City, of Gollum, you know, the other two big statues with the hands put out that they went by on the boat, you know, that sort of stuff, you know. You can't digitally recreate that. That's something tangible. That's something physical that is like a collector's item, you know. And I literally bought those because of that.
They don't.
So
just the boutique companies do, and that's it. Yeah.
Well, what I mean is that they've even removed all the special features to Blu-rays and stuff now.
In fact, we were just talking about Warner Brothers has now removed all the special features from their 4K releases that are upcoming now. I just bought Enter the Dragon. Not one special feature on it.
Wow.
In fact, just announced that they were celebrating that with like it was like a game or a movie or something like that. There's something else was coming out to celebrate. Anyway, never mind. That's so dumb. Sorry,
Exorcist will also not have any special features on it.
They're decreasing the
new Exorcist.
No, the original movie.
I was gonna say I don't care about.
Yeah.
No, the original release of the original.
Right. God damn. Well, there you go, Cardinal Sim, dude.
But actually, we're going to talk a little bit about this tomorrow on 4K for You because Walmart has just made a deal with SDS, which is pretty much the main distribution system now for Blu-rays and DVDs and stuff like that for the industry. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, check in tomorrow and you can ask us all your nerdy questions then.
There you go.